Hello, in this video we'll be reviewing how to set up services. To set up services, you'll go to the navigation menu, click Setup, Setup Service, and Set Up Services. At this point, you should have already established your service groups, product lines, service resources, etc. So, to add a new item, you'll simply click Add New, and you'll put in a name, and then you'll assign it a service group. So you would have already created these, and you can select them to drop down from. In here, you'll select if this service is taxable, and this checkbox is if the service uses multiple pricing levels. If this box is unchecked, it's assuming that every single worker charges the same price for this service. If you check the box for use multiple price levels, it will automatically populate a second option, and you're able to go in here and say your level 2s charge a little bit more, and you can continually go ahead and increase the price or decrease the price, however you want to do these. In your setup workers is where you'll assign a worker level, and then if your workers move up a level, they're able to just auto apply those levels across the board for all services. In addition to that, don't fear if you do have a couple employees that charge somewhere between a 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 and so forth. You are able to customize the workers' services, their prices and their durations and availability on a case-by-case basis. But this allows you, if your workers provide a same price in most cases, it just allows that to be a little easier to manage. This next checkbox is for add-on services. An add-on service will be a 0 duration service. So if I checked this, all of my durations will go to 0. And what happens is this will not appear on the calendar, and these are not services that are available to be booked online unless an existing service already is on there. Okay, so down here in our table, we have a price and then of course a duration. I can just say that this takes 60 minutes to complete this service, but sometimes it gets a little more complicated than that. In some cases, it takes 30 minutes, let's say, to apply the hair coloring, then another 30 minutes for the hair color to develop. If during this second 30 minutes I'm available for another appointment, I can check this available checkbox correlating to this duration too. And what that would do is it would open up my availability, but it would still faintly show that time on the calendar so that they can see that the client is still there, but the worker would be available for other work. How this is most commonly used is in the example of, let's say, a hair color application is it's 30 minutes to apply the hair color that we need the stylist for. Then in this next 30 minutes, because it's developing, we could do something like a men's haircut or a brow wax in that in-between time. Duration 3 is also optional. I could leave this blank, and then when I'm scheduling a client, I can have it show the 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, and duration 3 could be blank, and I would select a different subsequent service, or I can add another 30 minutes to finish the look. The buffer after time, that's going to be cleanup time. So if maybe I also want to tag 15 minutes onto this appointment so that I can reset my station, I put that here. And the service fee, this is going to be something deducted in payroll. So if I say that anytime somebody does this service, I need to charge $10 or 10%, either one. So if I can choose that this is a percent, or I can choose that it's a dollar amount, I can go into my setup workers and then set up compensation methods, and I can create a compensation method that says take the service totals and subtract service fees. The service fees normally are used to cover the cost of the product to provide this service. It's not always true that you'll want to use this feature, but it's definitely there when you do want to use it. And then of course these plus and minus options work just like everywhere else. You can click minus and it will delete that line item for you. Everything else after this is pretty much optional. So if you just wanted to create a service and keep it simple, you can go ahead and click Save. I'll continue on to describe the following options. So a required post service is going to require additional options. So in the first option where I just said this is a blank 60 minutes, or even leaving this third duration blank, what you can do is say when somebody schedules this service, I require them to also schedule either, let's say, a blow dry, or also to schedule a haircut. And what would happen is when I go to schedule this, I can make this mandatory in-store or online. And how it would treat that is anytime somebody books this, it would require me to choose either a blow dry or a women's haircut. This is a really nice feature that would prevent you from forgetting to book a subsequent service when it's required. But the nice appeal here is now you can properly report on what percentage of your services are hair color versus haircut or massage or nails and so forth. The guest charge amount, this is going to be similar to the service fee. Now, the guest charge amount will automatically be deducted from the service totals, and they will appear on the total sheet so that the salon can track the guest charge amounts. They're treated very similar to service fee, but with the service fee, you're choosing whether or not to include that in payroll, whereas the guest charge amount is automatically deducted. The online client-facing name. So for example, I chose hair coloring as the name of this service, but online, I could make it something like permanent luxe hair color. And that would be a little more descriptive. I can also include a description down below where I say application of vibrant permanent hair color, and so on. So you can provide a description so that they know what to expect when they come in for that service, and that will be displayed in the online booking. This option here is to require an appointment deposit when the client books online. You can say, okay, I want a 50% deposit, so you would type in 50 and select percent. Or if you would like a $20 deposit, you put in dollar and then select the money sign from over here on the right. Down here is where you would select your resources used. Traditionally, in a hair color environment, you won't be using resources, but this is how they work. Let's say this was a pedicure. I could say that I need a pedicure chair to perform this service, and it would be that simple. I can choose any or all if it's just one item. If I choose any, let's say I have my pedicure chair, but I also do pedicures at my hydro massage table that can double as a pedicure chair. So you can say any of these resources, and you can also prioritize them. Like I'd first like it to use the massage table and then the pedicure chair. You can also make it that all are required. So for example there, I can say that the pedicure chair as well as the hydro massage table are both required to do this service. Probably a better example of this and I don't have the resources to show you, but it would be saying if I'm going to do a facial, then I need the steamer as well as a private facial room to do that facial. Whereas if I'm just doing an extraction or an eyebrow wax, I may not need certain components and I can withdraw that. The display order is the order in which the service will display when it's listed to customers or to the workers to book those appointments. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.